Hey, oh, yeah, hey, hey. Fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my nigga, yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top when we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change, and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockin' gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood, I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Clap it up. Clap it up, clap it up. The mic is mute. Hey, Shalom. Yahweh Shai Brakatah.
Shalom Adonai, how about Shimon Shai Brakatah?
This is ISUPK Jamaica, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. ISUPK today run by Commander General YAHANNA, the man with the rank and the authority to be the leader of the blacks, Hispanics, and natives at this time. Yahweh Shimon Shai Brakatah to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar, Alatan Basham Yawashai to the sisters. Welcome to our Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, scripture breakdown class. All right. Topic we're running in on today. Blacks, Hispanics, and natives should not celebrate Christmas. Instead, we should be celebrating what is called the Feast of the Dedication, or in the Hebrew tongue, it's called HANUKKAH. It was a period of time in which the Grecians had overthrown us at Jerusalem, and the Most High had given us power over them, over the attackers, took back the temple, rebuild the temple, change out the altar, the altar for the daily sacrifices, and then we rededicated the temple. It was done during this time of the year, so it became our holiday. Christmas, our winter solstice, is a period of time which the heathens have celebrated from as far back as Egypt, long time. So it's not, in other words, this is a period of time of celebration for them heathens before Christ was even born. And we're also going to go into the period of time in which Christ was born. Christ wasn't born during winter time. The Bible specifically tells you he was born during tax time. Hey, which country in the world have their tax time at this time of the year?
Lord, sir, none that I know of that one.
Exactly. All of them have them tax time at during April, them time there.
Can.
I think Ethiopia have their New Year celebration sometime. No, I think Ethiopia New Year is about somewhere in September.
Right. Why is that, sir? Why would that?
You'd have to research their reason for using that. But I think, I don't know, maybe it's a tradition they have from long time why they use that. But we were specifically told to use the beginning of spring for our new year. From the time coming out of Egypt, from the time of Moses. And even though the West changed New Year's from beginning of spring to during this time here, what we now call January 1, which is the middle of winter basically. You have even though they have changed the New Year's beginning, they have not changed the tax time. And they will not change the tax time. Yeah, Shalom, yeah.
As soon as we don't go, we'll get to here. We'll join a little bit later, but we'll join.
In the meantime, go and play it on YouTube.
Alright, no problem.
Scripturally, all right, you had the Babylonians who used to have the Nimrod tree, which now becomes the Christmas tree. That was celebrated even during the time of Jeremiah. And Jeremiah was long before Christ. So it's not anything, this Christmas tree decorated with this and blah, blah, blah. There's nothing holy about it. There's nothing holy about that. All right. So let's jump into what we will be doing. First thing we're going to talk about the Yuletide season. What is the Yuletide season? Most persons who come up in church and think at this time of the year, you will hear them talk about the Christmas season or the Yuletide season. They use them interchangeably. Yuletide, I think the Yuletide season begins like about Christmas Day. And all right, let's get into it. I think it's written somewhere. If I send you the link, you'll be able to pull it up.
So like you say that again, another one?
If I should send you the link, would you be able to pull it up?
On the screen?
Right.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure how to do it without coming off. Will I come off of the stream?
Yeah, I think okay. So you're on from the cell phone, right?
Can't.
All right. Let me read it.
I've got. I can pull it and read it if you.
Come again. If I put it on the screen, you can read it from the screen.
I should be able to, sir.
Let me see if we can increase the size, font size. Can I? Let me see. All right, increase the font size a little. 25% more. Can you see that?
Can't.
All right, go on.
Can't.
We're not going deep into it. I just want to pick up what is the Yuletide and so on. Go on.
The story behind Yule and the Yuletide season. Are you familiar with the tradition of the Yule log? Or perhaps you like to troll ancient Yuletide carols. Yule is one of the oldest winter celebrations in the world, celebrated on the solstice. Learn more about this centuries-old festival and its traditions, including the Yule log cake.
So even the baking of the Christmas cake is an ancient tradition.
Can't.
Yeah. Celebrations during this time, which is called the winter solstice, is an ancient tradition. I think the Hindu during this time of this is the time that they have what they call it Diwali, which is a festival of light.
Salakia, other one, if I may.
Go ahead.
That's in October. It's the same week as Halloween and Guy Fawkes. The three of them fall periodically on back-to-back days. Halloween's first on the 31st of October.
Yeah.
Diwali is second.
Okay.
On the 1st of November, it's a 5-day celebration. And then on the 5th day of November is Guy Fawkes, or what the British people call bonfire night.
Bonfire has become part of the Christmas tradition too. The burning of the Yule log. What celebration the Hindu have during this time? Anyway, they have some celebration where they put up them pretty light and thing and have the Hindu thing. So every traditions have them winter solstice celebrations. But the ones that became dominant was the ones that was done during Europe. But the Europeans learned from other cultures as well, because the Europeans overthrew the Medes and the Persians. That is the traveling of the knowledge that is running the earth now. All right, so you have the Yule log, the Yule cake, how we call it, Christmas cake. Go ahead.
Khan. Today, Yule and Yuletide are largely synonymous with Christmas and Christmas tide, but the meaning behind them is quite different from that of the Christian holiday.
From what?
From that of the Christian holiday.
Right, it's a bit different from the Christian holiday. So it's yes.
So you click on the top there, you see, it's a Jamaica live class, ISUPK, right? I'm going to click on it, but I see the go on YouTube.
The one that I send you won't go on YouTube, it bring you to the live class. You have to go on YouTube to find the live. All right,
okay,
so
just type in where you see on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I understand.
So Yuletide is largely synonymous with Christmas today. The meaning behind them is quite different from that of the Christian holiday, because the Christian holiday now talk about Christ's birthday. So it's as if what they did in the church, because they still call the season Yuletide season, right? And Yuletide season begins, I think, on December 25th. I'm searching for it. All right, continue reading.
Khan. Yule comes from the Old English Yule, which shares a history, which shares a history with the equivalent word from Old Norse Jol. Both these words refer to a mild winter festival centered around the winter solstice, which traditionally marked the halfway point of the winter season. After the solstice, the shortest day of the year, the days again began to grow longer. So it's thought that the Yule was a celebration of the reappearance of the sun and the fertile land's rebirth.
All right. So, counting down, if you notice when it touched in October, the times change. You start to get into what they call short night, right?
Khan.
And then it goes down. right up until the winter solstice. The winter solstice mark what you call midwinter, let's say. So this now becomes like the pivotal point now. And this now becomes the shortest night of the year, of the whole year. And then it start to grow back now and start to get back. The days start to get back longer. Is it the shortest night or the shortest day? The shortest day, right? It's the shortest day of the year. And then the days now, so you start to get more sunlight in the day after that winter solstice. And what the Edens have done is see it fit to form a religion around this time and to celebrate that, which is, you know, is the reappearance of the sun and the fertile land rebirth. We're not supposed to have them kind of celebration.
Right.
This is why the Most High says what it says about we and the signs of heaven in the heaven. You remember that scripture?
So like he says, do not be dismayed at the signs of...
Do not be dismayed of the signs of the signs in the heavens. All right, we're gonna, maybe this is the right time to touch it. Amos chapter
5. Other one?
Amos 5 and
21.
21 to 23. All right, if you can see it on the screen, you can read it from the screen.
I can. Yeah, I have it, sir. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
The Most High says he hates our feast days, and he will not smell in our solemn assemblies. So them lovely food that you put up on thing, you no want them smell, because you know we doing the sacrifice and you know doing our cooking and thing. That was what the Most High is telling in the scriptures. I smell, you know, the aroma of your sacrifices. So I'm saying, nah, I won't smell that this one that you have in your feast days. So the winter solstice that they celebrate is not a period of time. What they are celebrating really is what is happening out there in the universe. That's what they are celebrating in this time. And the Most High tell us not to do that. Read on.
Con. Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Right. So he will not, though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offering. Meaning, what they were doing during the time of Amos was taking these Eden holidays, right? And using our altars to have sacrifices during these times. So they would do it in our altar And they would be saying that they are sacrificing to our God, Yahweh, right? So what the Most High is saying, say, although you are offering me burnt offering and your meat offering. So they're actually doing these celebrations under the way that we supposed to celebrate the Most High. So we're doing it. It's just like how them do it now and say they are celebrating the birth of Christ. So Christmas is now is a celebration unto God. It's not the first it's happening. We used to do it in our temple back in Jerusalem.
Right.
And the Most High is saying, although you come in the temple and although you making your sacrifices unto me, I am not going to accept it because I never tell you to do this thing unto me. What you are actually doing is following these events. All right. Finish up.
Khan, verse 23. Take thou away from the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols.
So Christmas carols is nothing new either. Yuletide, they always have the Yule songs.
Right.
So what they call Christmas now is just a copy of a pagan holiday that was being celebrated long before Christ. And what they have done is to do the same thing. So in other words, they bake the cake now, and they used to call the Yule cake. They bake it now, they call it the Christmas cake.
That's right.
They used to sing the songs, they call Yule songs. They now sing those songs and call them Christmas carols.
Right.
But here in Amos now, the Most High is telling you, take these things away from me. This is not me. Right? So take away from me the noise. These things have become noise unto me. The noise of thy violence. All right, let's go back to the reading of the thing there now.
Khan. The celebration of Yule is one of the oldest winter celebrations in the world.
You hear that? It's one of the oldest, which means it was done long before Christ born. Just like what the Babylonians used to have at one time was the Nimrod tree during this time. So it was still a winter solstice celebration because it said that Nimrod was born December 25th. So they used Nimrod birthday, bring in the Yuletide celebrations, and just amalgamate a whole heap of other things and call it birth of Christ.
Right.
All right, read on.
Khan. Ancient people were hunters and spent most of their time outdoors. The seasons and weather played a significant part in their lives. The customs and traditions associated with it vary widely. Most common.
All right. So, because the ancient people were hunters, most times was outside. So, once you're outside this time of the year, what happens? The time get colder. And you notice the days start to get shorter. And you can't go out to hunt. So, if you didn't store enough food or meat during this time, you're going to go through a little hungry period.
Right.
They were happy to see the change in the times when winter take time now. winter reach the high point and start to count down again.
That's
so
right.
They have a celebration, a 7-day celebration during this time, which was called Yule, and then Yuletide. So this comes from the hunters, all pagan. Read on.
Cardo and Khan. Most commonly, the celebration consisted of a hearty feast and general revelry, which included wassailing, caroling, drinking, and dancing.
Right. So from a long time, what we call the Christmas party was the Yuletide revelry.
Right.
Which was caroling, drinking, and dancing. And then you have the Yule cake. All right, read on.
Gone. Later, when Christianity came into the British Isles, Christians adopted aspects of the pagan festival into a celebration of the birth of Christ.
When Christianity came to the British Isles now, the Christians aspect adopted. You see what happened? So Christianity didn't come up with something original. What they did was to adopt the pagan ways. So in other words, what they did was just to bring the pagans in the church.
Right.
Read on.
Come. As Christianity began to spread in the 4th century, the Christians' feast day was set on December the 25th by Pope Julius I to align with the Roman pagan holiday Dies Natalis Solis Invicti, the birthday of the invincible sun. The rest is history.
So, not only was Nimrod born on the 25th of December, but Pope Julius I, the Romans had a Roman pagan holiday, which was referred to as the birthday of the invincible sun, right? And it was a feast day on the 25th of December. So you see what the Pope just there? Okay, because he was powerful, right? He just say, all right, Christ born on this day. It doesn't matter whether it really was so or not, you know. It doesn't matter whether it was so or not. It came from the Pope. So it became law. All right, now we're never going to the Yule log. The burning of the Yule log became a part of the bonfire. All right, that's Yule log before. So we can find this other one now. We'll tell you. Here it is. All right, you can read this one. Can you see this one?
God. What does Yuletide mean? Yuletide is a combination of two Old English words, Yule, meaning Yule or Christmas, and Tid, which translates to time or season. It refers to the festive season being at Christmas, late December, and New Year's, early January.
Right. So the Yuletide season is late December to early January. That is the Yuletide. or the celebration of Yule, in which the hunters used to celebrate when the days start to get long again. But there was another celebration that used to take place during this time, which was called Saturnalia, which was the celebration of the planet Saturn, Saturn wasn't a planet at the time, it was a god. The god did name Saturn, so then they named the planet Saturn. Everything that the Romans, of course, today, all, as a matter of fact, back then when you said Rome, you were referring to all white folks. Today now you have the British, you have the Spanish, you have the French, you have the Dutch, you have the this, you have the that. They are still Romans. They are all the splinters of the Roman Empire. So Saturnalia was the celebration of a god that they had, which was Saturn, which was the god of farming. All right, read this one now.
Khan on Khan. Saturnalia was a popular ancient Roman festival that celebrated the god of farming and the harvest, Saturn.
Right. So Saturn was known as the god of farming and harvest. And they used to have a big celebration to that god during this time of the year. All right, go down to origin.
Khan on Khan. Saturday was a one-day festival on December 17th, but was extended to a week-long celebration by the 1st century BC.
So this was even done before Christ was born.
Right.
So you see, all these things, everything in Christmas was before Christ born. The Christmas tree, the cake, the lights, December 25th, all that. So the entire Christmas has nothing to do with Christ's birth, really. All right, read on.
Khan on Khan. Celebration, including a sacrifice at the temple of Saturn, a public banquet, gift giving, partying, and a carnival atmosphere.
So even the giving of gift during this time was done onto, it's a way of celebrating Saturn. Nothing to do with Christ. Read on.
Khan on Khan. Activities. People sang, danced, played games, decorated with wreaths and greenery, and lit candles.
So, even the decorations, Christmas, here again you have the Christmas songs, which is the singing that they did. The lighting of the candle today that now take over by the pepper light. It's not new. And it was done before Christ came on this earth.
Right.
Read more.
Khan on Khan. Food and drink. People ate and drank lots, including figs, nuts, dates, bread, and wine.
Right. So the wine, you know, there's a lot of wine drinking same way. And eating and married to the point where people go out and commit crimes, kill, rob, all kind of things to get money for these pagan celebrations. All right, read some more.
Khan. Can you go back down a little, sir? You've gone too far. Okay, so social norms. Salakia. Gifts. People exchange gifts, usually small figurines or gag gifts, called sigillaria.
Right. Still have the gift giving. They still bring that. Social norm.
Salakia, social norms. People set aside their usual strict societal rules, and even slaves were able to have fun.
So this became what? A feast day, a holiday, nobody work. And it still is.
Khan.
Read on.
Khan. Election of a king of the Saturnalia. A person was elected to give orders to people and preside over the festivities.
So this king of Saturn today would be who now?
Oh, King Charles, other one?
No, that is Christ.
The king of Saturn.
The king of Saturnalia. That's why he's the one is being celebrated at this time.
Salakia, if I may, sir, do you mean Caesar Borgia?
Christ they used for that
Khan.
today. That's the seed that they put. They say the birth of Christ. So the whole thing is the whole celebration now is about Christ. So this person that they elect for this day now would somebody who give orders and preside over the festivities. Well, that one now is they've replaced that now with Christ. Remember what they're doing, you know, they are taking the old way of celebration and bringing it into the church.
Khan.
All right, continue.
Khan. Meaning, celebrated the winter solstice and the harvest and paid tribute to Saturn.
So there you go again, the winter solstice. All these are done really in celebration of this period of time that is called winter solstice. Because what they want to happen, the winter has to go away to farm and come back, innit? So that have to happen. If you can't farm during these cold times. You understand what I'm saying?
Khan.
All right, so read on.
Khan. The word Saturnalia comes from the Latin word Saturnalius, which means relating to Saturn.
Relating to Saturn. So the whole thing is honoring the god of Saturn. So you in the church and believe that paganism is over, and there they are tricking you in celebrating a pagan god named Saturn and calling it what? Christmas. It's the celebration of Christmas. Celebration of the birth of Christ. All right. Let's go down to probably this is a good time to touch Jeremiah 10, 1 and 5.
Khan. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
Sorry, 1 to 5. That's a 1 and 5, but 1 to 5.
Salakia, can you repeat that other one?
From 1 to 5.
Which chapter, sir?
Jeremiah 10.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the heathen.
Hold on. Whenever there is a letter is always written from somebody. Communication is done from the sender, and there must be a receiver. So this communication now in this writing was done particular from one being to be received by another being. And that person who was speaking was the Lord Almighty. We know today as Yahweh in the Hebrew tongue. And who was he speaking to? He was speaking to the Israelites. O house of Israel. He wasn't speaking to the Ammonites. He was not speaking to the Moabites. He was not speaking to the Ishmaelites. He was not speaking to the Edomites. He was speaking to one set of people. Hear ye this word. Read on.
Khan. Verse 3.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right. So at this time, that sign of heaven in the heavens was that short day and long night, which you call the winter solstice, and it have them in dismay. And another thing that those who were closer to the North Pole could have seen what they call the Northern Lights. They were all dismayed by these signs. But the Most High sent a message to us, Israelites, and said, don't make this thing fool you. Don't be astonished by these signs in the heavens. This is for the, let the heathens be dismayed at it, not you. Don't make it fool you. You stay on course. Verse 3.
Khan. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and the work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
So the custom was, doing vain things. What do you mean by it is vain? What does that word vain mean?
Salakia, to love themselves, sir.
You got that from it in there?
Vain.
Bible definition. Sorry, the dictionary.
You want the Bible dictionary or the one?
No, you don't need to use it.
Yeah, I'll be right here.
You don't need to use it for vain. You don't have to take it for vain. Vain here means, one, it has two meanings, adjective. Having or showing excessively high opinion of one's appearance, abilities, or worth. That's not what it's talking about, which is mean about flattery and so on. Not that one. The other one is producing no result, useless. That's the one that it is referring to in the Bible when it says these customs are vain. These customs are useless. Right? So the Most High sent Jeremiah to tell her, listen, these customs that you are following in celebrating these pagan holidays, these are useless. This don't bring you any closer to me. As a matter of fact, what it does is make the Most High want to beat you more because they're not getting hard years. Right? What are some of the vain things that people would do today, which is not necessarily religious custom? But still pass on through generation. Useless things that basically useless. That was one thing that people or foreparents said. Don't cut your finger. What was the reason behind that? Why they said that? They never explained. But don't cut your fingernails on a Sunday. Yeah.
I think one of the time when I pressed for explanation, it was said that bad luck follows you for the rest of the week.
Bad luck would follow you for the rest of the week. So that's a vain custom right there. So not cutting fingernail on a Sunday. Or on a larger scale. Vain custom. The majority of the custom that we follow now is really religious. Generally as a people. The vain customs. But on the smaller scale, you look at things like superstitious belief, where you don't do things. For instance, they used to say at one time, don't sweep out your house at night. You could sweep out your lock, something like that. So the custom then was not to sweep out the house in your premises in the night. That's vain. All right, let me see if we can remember another one. You have some that were some really stupid one. Like this one, they say, don't wear 1 foot of shoes. You ever hear that one, Officer Rayala?
Lahasa.
You never hear that one. So you must wear one. Don't wear 1 foot of shoes, you could kill your mother. All right. So the custom was you must not be seen in only 1 foot of shoes. And you could kill your mother. That's vain. Let's see if we can remember another one. What else the people say? All right, in America now they have one now with when it comes to sage. But then say sage do what? Run evil. Oh, but you know, have the same thing out there too. You know, have some bush where they use out there where they say run duppy. Or they use it to know when ghost is present. I think you see him China mint, you know. Yeah, they used to plant it around the house. So they say anytime the smell rise is because ghost is outside. Dumpy bounce it so you smell it. We are so as people pagan, otherwise we so full of vain things. But the thing is, we know who is supposed to be following the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Start showing fear in these vain customs that the heathens would celebrate or the heathens would do. So you start following these vain customs and showing great respect to these customs. So because you show respect to these customs, to celebrate Christmas, to celebrate New Year's. Now, if you're in the church, you say you're celebrating God. What does New Year's celebration have to do with the Bible? Nothing. But you have watch night service. Where is that in the Bible? Nowhere. The only celebration you have in that you should have in the New Year is the New Year that the Most High give us, which is the, what do you call it? Passover. That's the only New Year's thing that we should be celebrating. Right, so Saturnalia is the celebration of the god of farming. And Jeremiah, which one are we reading? Let's start reading Jeremiah, yeah. Continue with Jeremiah.
Con. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, and it moved not.
So these were a custom. Cut the tree, fasten it, and nail it up so that it don't turn over, and put silver and gold in it. And as a matter of fact, it was real silver and gold that they put on it. Why? Because we had money as a people. Even today, you look at our people, you can see that our people didn't come from the way they dress, the way they carry themselves, the way they move. You know that they never come from no bush. We were not taken from any jungle as the oppressor would like you to believe. We were taken from civilization, and we had riches. We put real gold and silver as decorations in our temple and ourselves, as in gold chain, gold ring, and so on. But because of these, we start to follow the events. We start to put gold and silver on tree. Today we call it Christmas tree. And today now you don't buy real gold and silver, you buy so silver ball, sorry, and the gold ball, gold color and silver color. All right, continue.
Con. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
Right. So I'm telling you that these trees cannot do you anything. So they were doing the people follow customs out of fear. You fear the things that they say would happen if you don't follow it. So that's why they follow it. There is one where they say, don't walk on that ladder. Could bring you bad luck. No, I would more say don't walk on that ladder because it could fall in your head. The custom said don't walk on that ladder, it could bring you bad luck.
Salakia, sir, for me.
Right.
So when you was talking earlier a little while about the new trainers, did you mean putting them on the table?
About the what?
The new shoes or the new trainers?
New shoes.
The reason I asked, they have a vain tradition in the UK. Now, when you buy new trainers or new shoes, you shouldn't put them on a table. It's bad luck to put them on a table. New shoes.
So that's one custom that they have there in Britain. Don't put new shoes on a table.
No, don't can't.
First I hearing that one.
Yeah, that's always been here, sir.
Yeah. That one has always been around. shoes on the table, it could bring bad luck. So you know, don't put new shoes on the table because you know fear that you might have bad luck.
Con.
Fear that the Most High was counteracting here was one which pinned down his people, which is a fear of this palm tree, or the evergreen, sorry, not palm tree, the evergreen tree, which I call the Christmas tree. He said they cannot do evil, neither anything with them to do good. So don't believe that you putting up the trees and bringing a present to put under the tree and celebrating this time is gonna do good to you. It can't. And neither is it can it itself do evil to you. But you know what can happen? The Most High can beat you.
Right.
All right, let's go to eat some more scriptures. Let's dive into the birth of Christ. Luke 2, 1 to 14. The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 1 to 14.
Con. Book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
All right, so see, when they say all the world is thought, well, who's ruling the world, the earth now, the world now?
Shalakia, the Romans are the one. Esau.
Right. More so, in particular, the Americans. So the Americans now, they say their rule is that once you are in league with them, you should be having elections. Your leader must be democratically elected. So in this time, what Caesar, this wasn't any democracy at that time. So Caesar now saying in his kingdom, everybody must pay tax.
Right.
That in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. So you must send some money to Caesar, which is why Christ had said, give unto Caesar what is for Caesar. Because he was the one who started this taxation in his kingdom. So who paid the tax? Those who were not Romans.
Right.
All right. So we in Jerusalem had to pay tax to them too because they were the ones who were ruling over our kingdom. All right, read on verse 2.
Con. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
So the governor of Syria, so he giving up. So if you go and check these Syrians record and you can find at what period of time was Cyrenian ruler over Syria, you can know when the taxation began at Jerusalem. So it gives you these kind of markers rather than to give you a date. It tells you that Cyrenius was governor of Syria because you can now find this in the Syrians record.
Right.
All right, read on.
Con. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city.
So you pay the tax in the city that you were registered in. Go on.
Con, verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, into the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. because he was of the house and lineage of David.
So, Joseph was not a lost man, just like how we are lost today. Joseph knew his roots. Joseph knew that he was of the lineage of David. So,
Right.
had we been ruling our own kingdom with the kings, Joseph was the one who would have been king at this time.
Right.
But here, what you have now, Joseph getting ready to go and pay tax. So our should-be king is now paying tax to the Romans.
Right.
Read on.
Can. Verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Right. So Christ, and now they bring in Mary in the picture. Mary was heavily impregnated. That's what they mean by being great with child. It was now in her, she was now in a, nowadays they use what they call trimester. So she was in her third trimester, getting ready to pop. Read on.
God. Verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that the should be delivered.
That she should be delivered. So the days were accomplished. So now she reached full term. Her pregnancy was now full term while she was in Bethlehem to be taxed. So there was something that was happening during the tax time as well. Read on.
God. Verse 7. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
So there was no room anywhere for her, for them to even get what you call to the hotel room. And there was no, because the city was crowded with people. Because one other thing that was happening during this time was a celebration. During tax time, what happens in the Jewish calendar during tax time? Huh?
Lucky, can you repeat that other one?
What happens on the Jewish calendar during tax time?
The Jewish calendar.
Yeah.
Amalek. I'm not sure, sir.
During tax time, which high holiday do we have?
Do we have, or the Jewish man?
Is it the same? Is the same one? They use the same calendar. What celebration do we have during tax time?
Khan. If it's April, sir, it's the Passover.
Hold on. Let me help you out. When is the tax time?
April, other one.
Right, during April. So around that time, what celebrations do we have?
Unleavened bread.
What celebrations do we have around that time?
The Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Passover.
Right, so we have the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread during that time. So that was why there was no room in the inn. Because during tax time, there was a celebration going on. So you had to Yeah, but the reason why they go into the city was not really to celebrate, is to pay the tax. Hence, it is in the Bible about them going into the city to pay their taxes. They could have celebrated the Passover in another city or somewhere else, but they went into Bethlehem, which was their city, to pay taxes.
Right.
Coincidentally, there was the Passover going on. All right, read on.
Khan. Like you say, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the 12 tribes all traveled to Jerusalem for the Passover every year, annually.
That's where it's supposed to be. But remember, we were captives basically in our own country, ruling by another nation. And the decree came out that you must pay tax, and you pay the tax in the city that you are registered in, or the city
Khan.
that you were born in, or the city that you are from. Hence, they had to go not to Jerusalem, but to Bethlehem.
Khan.
All right, go on.
Khan. Verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. Verse
Right,
7.
go on.
And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Right, verse 8.
Verse 8. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night.
All right. So they are the shepherd watching their flocks in the night, so that what? Nobody don't steal them, or wild animals don't come in and take them at night. So
Right.
they were out there in the fields watching their flock. Verse 9.
Con. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid.
All right. So, well, in today's day, we know about drone and thing. We know that this was like a craft, or what we call the Most High's chariot, shining light down on them and make them be afraid. But the scripture said, an angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around about them. Continue.
Con, verse 10. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
Right. So Christians take this all people to mean every single race on the earth.
Right.
But the all people here is referring to the 12 tribes. Because who was in the kingdom at that time? Which of the
In the
tribes
kingdom
were
of Israel.
in the kingdom that we had? The Judite, the kingdom of Judah. Who was in?
It was Israelites, and there were Jews, and there were Romans, other one, Europeans.
All right. But we had 12 tribes, right?
Con, but in the land of Judea, or Judah, there was only 3 tribes, other one.
That's what I'm getting at. So which
Con.
3 tribes were there at that time? Which 3 tribes were there?
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
Levi, Benjamin, and Judah.
Half of Levi, and Levites were spread out through all the cities. So when the northern kingdom get kicked out the land, some of the Levites get kicked out too. So the Levites, tribe of Benjamin, and the tribe of Judah, we were the ones who became known as the Jews. Understand?
Okay.
At this time, they were using the word Jews. They were not using the word Israelites because we have lost 9.5 tribes. They were kicked out. But Christ's birth was to bring good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people, which is even those that were kicked out of the land. Right? And there are other scriptures now which let you know that the all people was not referring to every nation, such as that one that says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Right?
Right.
So the all people here, let's break down that one. The John 3:16.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. God so loved the world that he gave his begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
All right. So John 3:16 was telling you that whoever believe in Christ, read it again. What's that again?
God, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So that whosoever right there is precept to this all people right here. Right?
God.
I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. So we're going to break down what it means by what John 3:16. Give me the word again, which is referring to everybody. The world.
Salaki, sir.
Yeah.
God. So, for God so loved the world.
Right. Right. Whosoever, right. Whosoever in John 3:16. You break that down, it let you understand which shall be to all people. The all people right here. So let's do that. Psalms 90:2.
Psalms 90:2.
Yeah.
God.
So you can find that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God.
All right. So Psalms 90:2 says, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world. So that shows that there is earth and there is the world. So it's not the same thing. Earth and world not the same. So the earth is referring to this that was created, which you look outside and you see the ground, you see the sky, and so on. That's the earth. The world is referring to what?
Israel are the one.
It's referring to an age or a society. And the age and the society it's referring to is the Israelite society. And we're going to prove it further on. Hebrews 11 and 3.
God. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Right. So this is explaining to worlds, because there is not just world, but there's not earths, but there's worlds. You get me? Understand what I'm saying? There's one earth, but obviously there's many worlds. It says worlds. Like you have the sea world, you have the world of the Israelite, the world of the Edomite, the world. If you go into Japan right now, you're in a different world, ain't it?
God. The World Cup.
But you're on Earth.
Disney World.
Disney World. If you go to Ukraine right now, you're in a different world, but you're on the same Earth. So there is more than one Earth world. Give me 1 John 2 and 15.
Right. Salakia, what's that other one?
Come again?
What did you ask for?
1 John 2 and 15.
Khan. The book of 1 John chapter 2 verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
So, what John 3:16 says again?
For he gave his only begotten Son.
No, hold on. For God
Salakia. You want John 3:16 again, sir?
You can read it from memory. For God so loved the world.
Khan. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that
Right.
whosoever believes.
Hold on. The part we want from that is for God so loved the world. So John 3:16 is telling that God loved what?
For God so loved the world.
Okay. But 1 John 2:15 is telling what?
John Salakia. 1 John
It's on the
chapter
screen.
2, verse 15. For love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
So you have a contradiction there, ain't it?
Khan.
Because the Moses says, John 3:16 is saying, for God so loved the world, but in 1 John it is telling you to love not the world. And if you love the world, God's love is not in you.
Right.
So that's a contradiction.
La, sir.
It is a contradiction to the Christians and the Rastas and the heathens.
And the Muslims are the one.
And the Muslims, because they do not understand the scriptures, because it was not for them. So here is further definition,
Right.
our further explanation. Love not the world. Which world was in over Jerusalem at that time? Which age or society was ruling over Jerusalem at that time?
Salakia said the Romans.
The Romans. So it was telling you, don't love that the world, because if you love the world, then God love none of you. Why would God love not be in you if you love that world? Because that world was wicked over the Most High's people.
Right.
So he's telling you that. So if John 3:16 says God loved the world, but one here is telling you, you should not love the world, which means that God don't love that world. So let's see, that's two worlds colliding there.
Right.
Isaiah 45 and 17.
Isaiah. Salakia, do you want Isaiah other one?
Isaiah 45, verse 17.
Khan, the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
So there is one world that God loves, and here the Most High is putting that world on the pedestal. Israel shall be saved in the Lord, in the Most High power, with an everlasting salvation. And Israel, or the Israelites, or blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, shall not be ashamed or confounded, world without end.
Right.
Acts 2, 21 to 22.
Salakia, what was the other one?
Book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21 and verse 22.
Khan. The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
So here now it is saying, whosoever. So it's now, for God so loved the world that whosoever. And that whosoever is now being explained. It shall come to pass that whosoever call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Read on.
Khan. Verse 22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God and among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know.
So, ye men of Israel, that is the whosoever that he is referring to. So that, for God so loved the world that whosoever that is in, sorry, Luke, that whosoever is the Israelites he's referring to. And that whosoever is the same as to all people. Because reading the scriptures is showing you that God don't love everybody. But here it says all people. So who is he referring to? He is referring to those who he said shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. So read Luke chapter 2, verse 10 again.
Khan. The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 10. And the angel said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. So that all people is good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all the Israelites. Because at that time, it was important for them to say it that way because 9.5 tribes was not in the land. But the angel want Mary and Joseph to know that this child is to bring the salvation to all the 12 tribes. Now you can say, so why didn't he just say that? I don't know. It's just the way to speak then. And the culture then was that they know that God is just for the blacks, for the Israelites, the 12 tribes.
That's right.
Our culture, right throughout our culture, right throughout our experience, that's what you see, because there is never a nation that invaded us so that they can come and learn our God. None. Every nation that invaded us come with the intention to teach you about their God.
Right.
So we know that the God that we serve was for us and us only. There's no other nation that come among us to learn our God and our way of life so that they could do it. Never happened. So all of a sudden now, you're going to read the New Testament and tell me that that's what it is. It's not what it is. Verse 11 now.
Salaki, what do you want, sir?
Read on.
God will come, verse 11. For
Right.
unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
Mm-hmm. So this is one thing again, strong in the church. Savior, which is Christ the Lord. Read on.
God will come. Verse 12. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger.
Right. So, sorry, they wasn't talking to Mary and Joseph. This was talking to the shepherds who were watching their flocks by night. So they were out there in the field in the dark, and this light came about them, and the angels spoke to them, basically sending them unto Christ. This shall be the sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. Read on.
God will come. Verse 13. And suddenly there was with the angel of a multitude of the heavenly host praising Yahweh and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
Right. Peace, goodwill to you Israelites. And why is it so important for us to single these things out that he was referring to the Israelites? Because for some reason, the Israelites today is the one that is lost.
Right.
We are the only nation that doesn't know our roots, our true culture. The Chinese have been in Jamaica for more than 100 years. Every Chinaman out here know that he means from China. Similar with the Indians. Similar with every other nation, except us blacks. We say we are Africans. What is interesting, the Chinese can tell you which side of China their roots come from, which dynasty they spring from and all that. They know all of that because they came out here organized. But the black man now out here will tell you, I am African. Africa have about some 54 nations. Which one do you belong to? You don't even know that. That's because you are not African. You were found there, but you are from Jerusalem.
Right.
All right. Read on. We're going to reading the full story. We're going to going all the way down to verse
20, sir.
no, we're 14. We're just going to 14.
I've just read 14, sir.
Okay, that was 14. Okay. All right, so to 14, that's the birth of Christ. So the takeaway here in this that we just read in Luke is that Christ was born during tax time. And that he was born, as it says in verse 10, to bring good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people, which shall be to the blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
Right.
All right, next scripture now. We can let's look at the feast days. Leviticus 23. The feast days are holidays that we should be celebrating.
Come.
Oh, before we do that, we probably should get into Akanaka before we do that, because it is important for us to go into Akanaka, which is the first Maccabees. Come again?
You want second Maccabees?
First Maccabees 4, 52 to 56.
God. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month of Casliu, in the 148th year, he rose up betimes in the morning.
All right, now it was the year you were given a name for a month, which we don't have today. But this time we were under who was ruling? The Greeks. Right? What were they? 52, right?
God.
Now in the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is the month. So even then, back then, this period of time was not. Which month are we in now in today's calendar? That Julian and Gregorian calendar. Which month are we in?
The 12th month, I don't know.
The 12th month. So at this time, there was still at least 3 more months to go. So that would be January, February, and March. To have the beginning of the new year in which month? April. So it's giving you the record that You're in the 9th month. And this was not September. Read on.
God, oh God. Verse 30, verse 53. And offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made.
Right. So like we said, they had changed out the stones because heathens come and profane our temple. They sacrifice pig and unclean animals on our altar, as it was prophesied by Daniel the prophet. So what happened? They changed the stones and make new altar and start sacrificing again. Read on.
God, oh God. Verse 54.
Yeah.
Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and cithens and harps and cymbals.
So the heathen had what?
The heathen had profaned it.
All right. So during this time, so remember, we're going back in time now. Who was ruling then in the time of the Maccabees was the Greeks, right? We don't get to the Romans yet. We are the Greeks. All right. And they are saying that the Greeks had profaned their temple. The heathens had profaned their temple, even that was it dedicated with what? Songs. What we just read about. The Yule songs and the celebration of Saturn with songs. That's what they did to our temple.
Right.
They brought these heathen holidays. And of course, they would have brought back the Nimrod tree.
Right.
But the songs that we dedicate our temple with songs, but not Christmas songs. You understand?
Right.
So while we took it back from the heathen and then we were dedicating the temple, we were singing songs. Right. This was talking about we dedicating temple with songs and with cedar and with harps and with cymbals. But the heathen had profaned our nation with their celebration of at this time of the year, which is evident all until today. The time of Christ, come all the way down. Right. So this is talking about we dedicating the temple with songs. Read on. And burnt offering.
God, oh God. Verse 55. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshipping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success.
And this success that it was talking about was success over the invaders. Read on.
God, oh God. Verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed their sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Right. So we did our Thanksgiving sacrifice and daily sacrifice. And in other words, we for more than 100 years there was no sacrifice in the temple. The temple had gone broken down, trees start growing up in it, and so on and so forth. And then under the Maccabees, the Most High gave us the strength to rise against the oppressor and rebuild the temple. Now we know that in the kingdom of heaven there will be no temple, but the Most High once again is giving us that strength to rise within this time under commanding General YAHANNA. We can start teach our people again. We can start raising our people again in the way of the law. And we can tell you that, yeah, we have had good success. And those of us who in here know that this is no easy road. This is one of the toughest roads you will ever walk. Read on.
Verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of their 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of the deliverance and praise. Verse 57. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them.
Right, so they refurbished the temple. Hang doors upon them. Change the temple door. Obviously the door would have been gone, or destroyed, or rot, or something. Put on gate, put on doors. Read on.
Verse 58. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
Right. So the people now were glad that they were able to come back to their righteous path, and that they have put off all the customs, the vain customs of the heathen and so on, and gone into the most rededicate the temple. And that is what we will be celebrating. This year rededication of the temple it's still an 8-day celebration, and it begins on sundown December 25th. It falls on different times depending on when is the first day of winter. So it falls on different time each. Last year I think it was before December 25th. This year it is on the 25th of December at sundown, when the heathen them done celebrate Christmas. We beginning the celebration of the rededication of our temple unto the Most High God. Read on.
Verse 59. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Casliu, with mirth and gladness.
So here you have it. This was the proclamation by our rulers under our laws, telling us that we should continue the celebration of the rededication from year to year. And the celebration should last 8 days. And it begins on the 5 and 20th. As a matter of fact, here you have it again. It's the 25th, that, isn't it?
Come.
So there you have it, the 25th. And it's the 25th of that month which the winter solstice falls on. And Christ was not born during winter solstice. Christ was born during a time that the shepherds were outside tending their flocks and the people were in the city paying their taxes. None of those two things take place during December. All right, read on. Going to 61.
Come. Verse 60. At that time also they builded up Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers around about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before.
So this was what? Jerusalem they had to build the walls of Jerusalem again. And that's why Jerusalem had to be a walled city, because the heathens always want to break it down.
Right.
All right, read on.
Verse 61. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Beth Surah to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
One set of people we always have to be watching out for. Who was Idumea is who?
Salakia is Esau.
Esau. Edom, Idumea. Let's go again. Idumea was the capital.
It was a landmass.
And the capital was Edom.
Khan.
I don't remember which one was it. But one was the name of the country and one was the capital.
Yeah, Edom was the land, sir.
And Idumea was the capital.
Khan.
Right. So this defense was against Idumea. So the entire Bible is about us running and battling these Edomites. And if you doubt me, we can close with Revelation. Here in Revelation, I tell you about the kingdom of heaven again. 7, having a wall great and high. Let me see if it is so. All right. Revelation 1 describe the kingdom of heaven.
Chapter 7 is about 12, the 12,000 sealed from each tribe, other one.
All right, the one that tell you about the kingdom of heaven.
The kingdom of heaven.
Yes.
Khan.
In Revelation, tell you about the 12 gates and the wall.
Is 21. Revelation 11 and 15 or Revelation chapter 21? Let me have a look, sir. Revelation 11 and 15.
No,
that's the 7th trumpet. Revelation 21, other one. The 21st chapter.
all right.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
All right, verse 12. Drop down to 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 12. And had a great wall and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So to anyone listening who want to contest me about what we read in Luke when it says Christ to bring good tidings of joy to all people, not to every nation. Here it is. Tell you who the kingdom of heaven belong to. 12 gates to the 12 tribe of the children of Israel. So in Maccabees, you read about them building back the wall. Even in the kingdom of heaven, we still have to have walls. Why? Because they're going to still try. It's just that they won't, it's going to be such a powerful city that it's going to, them on the outside, it's supposed to bring fear on them because that wall is a couple furlong high.
Right.
So they can't break down the wall. That's how they used to get in there on us, break down the wall. In 70 AD, that's what the Roman general name again? Vespasian.
You, sir.
Come again?
What did you say? Other one?
In 70 AD, the Roman general who destroyed Jerusalem.
Oh, Pontus.
So what they did was to tear down the walls. And Revelation is telling that, the walls will be there. And this is heaven. And we still have to have walls.
Right.
Because the heathens will still be around. And they will want to come and take what is not theirs.
Right.
Right. So, that's it for Christmas that we should not be celebrating. And what we should be celebrating is Hanukkah, the rededication.
That's right.
Because this time we won't be having a temple, but we'll be having a city.
Right.
When Christ do return. Do you're able to stand and read the thing there?
The security announcements, other one.
Announcement. All right, so we're gonna just close with the security announcement. If you're able to stand.
Clap it up.
In your garment. Hold on, I don't turn it over yet. In your garment. All right, we had 3 comments. Let's see what it says. Blah, blah, blah. Damien Allen says, Shalom family. Princess said, Shalom Yabashim Yashai Brakatah, so on and so forth. All right, this person here, Big Landots, type in Proverbs 21 and 31. What's that? What about Proverbs 21 and 31? Let's see what it says.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 31. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord.
What him saying about this now? I don't even know. All right. The horse is prepared against the battle. He's saying that, well, that was when they had battle horse. They don't really have that today again. But that horse was prepared against the battle. But showing safety are thinking about safety, yeah, that is of the Lord. Even though when Christ sent out his disciples, he sent them out saying, you're going to be as wolf, sorry, as what what? No, you're going to be as wise as the serpent, but harmless as the dove. That's safety. Anyway, not too sure what you were saying about this verse, my brother, Big Lando, but that's that. All right, so with that, we pass the class to Prison Officer Arayala.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, starting out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6-month period, Salakia, there is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 to 10, means a tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'ai Asherah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations, the 25th of December, the Feast of HaKanukah in the Hebrew, in the English, the Feast of Dedication. Remind Akyam and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarves. And with that, I'm going to give Officer Abada one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I Madium, which means stand. Sa, which means turn. We're going to face the east, Salakia. Men of Israel, I Madium. I Madium Shabbat. I Madium Barak. Yehovah Hashem Yehoshai Barakatah.
Yahweh Shema Bakatam.
So we're going to turn and face the sisters for one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I Madium. I Madium Shabbat. I Madium Barak. Yahweh Shema Elatan Hashem Yehoshai. Yad Yamata. Class dismissed. What are the ones? Shalom, Hashem Yehoshai Barakatah.
Shalom, Yahweh Shema Bakatam. All right, to our online viewers, remember to like, subscribe, and share our videos. Until next class, Shalom. Yahweh Shema